There you are, YouTube. Doodle 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 do. Subscribe if you're interested, but also no pressure. Hey, the SAG Awards just ended like, I don't know, what, 4 minutes ago or something like that. And we're going to do a winner's reaction. We're going to cover that complete list of SAG-AFTRA winners from the show today, starting with the stunt ensemble, which they don't, unfortunately, show during the actual show. It's more done during the red carpet, which I did watch some of that, had to put the kids to bed, so I also missed a little bit of that. But I did catch the stunt ensemble winner, and that went to Shogun, a show that I am very interested in watching, but I have not watched. Let me see if I can angle this up a little bit differently there. All right, I feel like I'm hunching over. I always end up doing that, but don't want to be there. Okay, so Shogun, a show I'm very interested in watching. Don't know if I can find the time, unfortunately, but I really want to check it out. It's on FX. Next, we have male actor in a limited series or TV movie, and that went to Colin Farrell for The Penguin, another show I am incredibly interested in. This is one that I think I will get to because I would like to watch it in preparation for the next Batman film. Next, we have female actor in a limited series or TV movie, and that goes to Jessica Gunning for Baby Reindeer. I've started watching that with my wife. My wife and I, well, she started watching it, and then I kind of jumped in, and wow, what a story, and it's based on true events. That is wild. So that was a really cool win that we had there. Next, I was very pleased with this win. It was the win I was having my fingers crossed for, but I am upset that he wasn't there to accept it. It was Best Actor in a Comedy Series, and it was Martin Short for Only Murders in the Building. I just wanted, I mean, I love The Bear. I think The Bear is great, but I do not think it is a comedy series, and it keeps winning all these comedy awards, so I was very happy that Martin Short won, and I just think Martin Short's one of the funniest people on earth of all time, and he won, but he was not there to accept, unfortunately. So yeah, that was I guess sad that he wasn't there. Next, we have female actor in a comedy series, Jean Smart. She keeps winning this over and over again for Hacks. Hacks is a great show, something that my wife and I follow, and I know I've reviewed it on my channel, but I can't remember if I reviewed the most recent season or maybe I reviewed the entire season or something like that. I can't remember, but it is something that I've talked about on this channel before, and very happy for Jean Smart, but, you know, she does keep winning, and, you know, I like Abbott Elementary. I'd like to see them, you know, pick up some awards, because that's another favorite show of mine, but very happy for Jean Smart, because I do love that show. It's one of my favorite shows on television. Okay, next we have male actor in a drama series, and that went to, all right, let me make sure I get this right. This isn't a name I'm used to saying too often. Hiroyuki Sanada for Shogun. And am I right? Did he win last year? I'm trying to remember if he did. But very happy for him. I love his speech. I love seeing him pop up in anything. Next, we have female actor in a drama series, and that went to Anna. Oh, I forgot to memorize how to say her last name. Is it Sawai? Not sure, but it was for Shogun as well, and really enjoyed her speech as well, and her dress. She was looking amazing. That dress looked really cool. I liked that it sort of formed like a flat shape, like an upside down like triangle or something made out of glitter. I don't know. I thought it was really cool. Next, we have Comedy Ensemble, and that went to, very surprisingly, Only Murders in the Building. I was like partially rooting for that because I don't think The Bear should win. I love The Bear. Again, The Bear is one of my favorite shows on television also, but I don't think it belongs in this category, right? So yeah, I was like, oh, that would be cool if Only Murders in the Building won, because I like Martin Short and Steve Martin, and I know a lot of people like this movie, and it's not getting any flowers or anything other than nominations. But I was really rooting for was Abbott Elementary. I think if I remember right, that's my favorite show out of that bunch. I mean, I probably like maybe The Bear more, maybe not the third season so much because everybody was so separated, but The Bear, to me, that's category fraud. So I was rooting for Abbott Elementary, but only Murders in the Building were there, and Steve Martin and Martin Short weren't even there to accept. Selena Gomez, she accepted, and like Molly Shannon was up there. There were other people up there, but it was like, oh my gosh, like the two main people were not there. And then best drama ensemble went to Shogun. Again, something I'm really interested in watching. Okay, so that was, yeah, television. All of that was television. Forgot to mention that. Sorry. So the stunt ensemble, all of that, everything we just covered was for television. Next, we're moving to movies, and we also have stunt ensemble for movies here. And this is one that I was also watched during the red carpet. They happen at the same time, the stunt ensemble ones, and that goes to The Fall Guy. Other movies like Deadpool and Wolverine were on there, but yeah, it was the Fall Guy, which makes sense. That movie is about stunts. I really like The Fall. I didn't see the movie, but I did watch the Fall Guy television show, reruns of it when I was a kid on FX. So that was cool. Okay, so let's move into some of the acting nominations here. Male actor in a supporting role, Kieran Culkin won that one for A Real Pain. He is just I don't know the sports terms. What does that mean? Batting 100 or something like that? He is doing a clean sweep. Is that correct? He's won it all, and he's just marching his way to the Oscar. And he sort of suggested someone else is marching their way to the Oscar, but um, I don't know. I don't know anymore. But anyway, very happy for Kieran Culkin. I thought his speech was very funny. I think he just sort of wings it when he's up there, and he just kept riffing. It was honestly kind of making me think of like Robin Williams, the way he was speaking up there, but just less with like Robin Williams' sort of comedic timing and energy. But the way he was talking and thinking felt very Robin Williams in the ideas that he was presenting as he was talking about how heavy the actor award was. Next, we have female actor in a supporting role, and that went to Zoe Saldaña for Emilia Perez. I think she's really good in this. In the scenes they always show her are I think are some of the most exciting work in the movie. So yeah, and her speech was really good, and she kept it together a lot more than she did with the Golden Globe win. She was very emotional, so this one felt very different, but still a win that you could tell just meant so much to her. Next, we have male actor in a leading role. So this is when things get a little bit interesting. So Adrian Brody's been doing very well, but here's the thing: Adrian Brody, where he's been hitting really well, has always been like critics, right? So remember, critics don't vote here, and they don't vote for Oscars. They don't vote for. Actually, I don't know who votes for BAFTAs, but all of that to say, he did win the BAFTA, and even though he won, critics and what do you win? Spirit, probably. I don't know. That happened yesterday. And the Golden Globe, he did not win here. And right before they said the names, I turned to my wife. I said, this could be Timothée Chalamet. And she's like, what? And then they said Timothée Chalamet, and I was like, ugh. And I think the thing is one, if you're voting for Timothée Chalamet, one, you're probably voting for him and his acting work. You are also voting for Bob Dylan, and you are voting for a movie that is much more accessible and shorter than The Brutalist, which is what Adrian Brody is in. So, unfortunately, The Brutalist has some things going against it in terms of just time commitment. Being able to watch that movie is difficult, and it's not playing in the theaters for very long either. It was only in my theater for maybe a week or two, and I was unable to get there. The day that I could have gone was the first day it was not playing, so I missed it, unfortunately. So Adrian Brody did not win. As of now, I haven't seen either film, so I am rooting for Adrian Brody just because he hit early with the Oscar. He's the youngest male lead Oscar winner in history. And, sometimes that can be like oh, you peaked too early, you don't have it. It was a fluke, you don't deserve it, you aren't that good. And I love that he is back with the opportunity to maybe win an Oscar again. But today, he did not win the SAG. So what does that say for the Oscar? I'm still rooting for him because I would love to see him on that stage again, winning at this age in his 40s. I mean, gosh, I don't know. Is he 50 yet? He could be. I don't know how old he is, but he was in his 20s the last time he won, and he's older now, and to have the opportunity to win again, I think just says a lot about that early win was not a fluke. It was not a you peaked early. You're a great actor. So I'm rooting for him, but again, I haven't seen either performance. Maybe after watching them both, I may be like, actually, Timothée Chalamet all the way. So who knows? But having not seen them and just going off of trailers, I guess, Adrian Brody. Plus, I don't know, just kind of standing him because of the past, I guess, in history and such. Okay, so next we move on to female actor in a leading role. So this has been a sort of neck and neck between Demi Moore and Mikey Madison. I can never remember if it's Madsen or Madison. I think it's Madison. And Mikey Madison's been winning stuff. Like recently won the BAFTA. Demi Moore won the Golden Globe, and so you got the two of them going, right? And I do feel like that the SAG is more into genre because didn't Emily? Am I wrong here? Did Emily Blunt win, or was she just nominated for A Quiet Place? Maybe it was just the nomination, but they will sometimes toss in these more genre friendly nominations, right? And just kind of a curveball, right? So I was like, I told my wife, I was like, I can see it going either way here because both are doing well in precursors, but this one I think is more of a Demi win. But when it comes to the Oscar, I think really that is the neck and neck. It could go either way. It really could go either way. But I'm rooting for Demi Moore just because I really like this. Maybe this is wrong. This is different of how I used to be. I used to be like, no legacy wins, no this, no, it's just that performance and that performance alone. But I don't know. I've softened up, I guess, because I don't know. I really like the story. I like the story of her being a mainstream box office actress, and then here she is in a heavy genre movie doing something completely different, and had never won an award before, and here she is now with an Oscar nomination. I don't know, that's really cool to me. So not only am I voting for her performance in the film, but also that story. Okay, so yeah, that was female actor in a leading role, which was Demi Moore. She did win that. Next we have ensemble film. This one was I actually thought maybe it could go to Wicked because I know a lot of people in Hollywood do love that movie, but they also know that the sequel's coming out. But I don't know. For some reason I just thought it would be like a fun, because like I'm just thinking of like some of these other films that have won that are more populist or popular mainstream past wins, like Black Panther won. What was the NWA movie one? And I was like, you know what? I could see maybe Wicked winning this, and it did not. Wicked did not win. And then I was also thinking maybe Anora, because it looks like it's marching towards a Best Picture win, perhaps, at the Oscars. And I really wasn't thinking Conclave. Like, I wasn't thinking it was not going to be Conclave, but when they said Conclave, because that's what won, Conclave won, I was like, whoa, looky there, Conclave winning. And you do have some massive talent there in that film doing some amazing things. So you got Fiennes and Lithgow, and it's a good cast. It's a really good, strong cast, and um, a great ensemble. So and it feels that way. It really does feel like that. So that's really what you should be looking at with this movie is which one feels like an ensemble. Like remember what the award is. Remember what the award is. Ensemble. And you do have just this line of people, right? It doesn't feel like maybe it's this person's movie or this person's movie. Maybe it does feel like Rafe's film, but all these other people are there's a lot of interacting with everybody, right? And a lot of interaction with everybody going on here. A lot of whispering. It just had that feel of ensemble, right? So it makes sense. It makes sense, I think. So anyway, that is the list of Screen Actors Guild Award winners. The complete list right there for you. Where did you go wrong? What did you not know? I would say the biggest one that I got wrong would have been ensemble, but I should have just thought about it a little harder. But let's see. Yeah, the actor one. I mean, I was rooting for one, but I turned to my wife and I said it might be Chalamet, and then it was. So oh well, the television stuff I guess was the surprising stuff because Bear walked away with nothing, right? And it just kept winning, winning, winning in these past years. Um, so yeah, Only Murders in the Building, that was surprising to me. Um, I guess that was at it. Oh, and Martin Short, I guess, was the one I was rooting for, and then he won, and then I was like, oh wow, wasn't expecting that. And Jean Smart, I mean, man, she's been walking away with the awards. She did show up at the beginning. Like I said, I'll talk about the show a little bit. She did talk about. She was in like a skit at the beginning, which was very funny. Also, this show had um, um, Kristen Bell as the host, and if I remember correctly, historically the SAG has not had a host ever. But Eugene and Dan Levy, where they were kind of the hosts. Was that just last year? Am I remembering that right? So this one I feel like because they would have like an actor kind of open things, but then it wasn't like there was a host. But Kristen Bell just kept coming back and coming back and coming back, and I'm just trying to remember if I feel like, or maybe they were making a joke about that Eugene and Dan they were like we're hosts but we're not hosts. We're not actually hosts. I think they were making jokes about that, but this was just like a yes, Kristen Bell is the host, and I thought that was nice. Nice through line. I thought she did well. Also, they presented a lot of great montages during what would have been the commercial breaks. I really love that. I love cinema history and seeing it through supercuts and montages, so that was very exciting. I loved all of that, but it did make it difficult to get that commercial break. I gotta grab a refill or whatever, go to the bathroom sort of thing. So there's that. But with it being on Netflix, you can pause it, right? But yeah, you feel like you can't really fast forward though because you don't want to miss those montages. The Lifetime Achievement went to Jane Fonda, and just that career right there. Although what's interesting, I was saying to Elizabeth, I was like, I feel like she wasn't like a staple of our childhood. What was going on in the 90s? Because like there are no like 90s movies that I can point to where I'm like, yep, that movie that I grew up on, Jane Fonda's in it. Like, was that a dry spell, or was she doing other things, doing more activism, or was that during the exercise tapes or something? I don't really know. But anyway, she won that, and she's looking great. She's in her what upper 80s, and you'd never know it. You'd never know it. But it was a really good award show, I thought. But I'm easy to please with those. I enjoy. I like them. I think they're fun to watch. So yeah, the 31st Screen Actors Guild Awards. I thought it was pretty good. What did you think? What did you think of the wins? Were there any major surprises for you? Were there some things that you predicted that you didn't think might or that most people maybe didn't think were going to happen, and they did. I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below, and perhaps we'll see you tomorrow for more Peer Hangout.